My name is Sara and I'm from Houston, Texas. I didn't grow up Christian. I actually grew up the whole opposite. When the Lord talks about Egypt and the curse, I know what that's like. And my dad, I didn't know this, but my dad, before I was born, was Christian. When I was born, we moved to Texas, and coming here was when he completely just shifted. And he would actually make fun of Christians. So I was like so unaware that we knew anything about Christ and who he was and all of that other stuff. So then came a moment where God gave him the last opportunity, and that was when I was in middle school. Then from there, after he gave his life back to Christ, he just went on to just listening to the word. And I was kind of like, what's that? As a kid, I've never been around. I was like so surrounded by the opposite stuff. Since we were still under his roof, he'll be like, if y'all want to watch a movie, y'all have to watch. What he would call it is predication. So he's like, y'all have to watch one predication. Who do y'all want to listen to? And it would be like, Kenneth Copeland, because we listened to him in Spanish. And it was, for me being an unbeliever, I could understand it compared to when he would put like these other people. It's like I knew what they were saying, but I didn't know, it didn't come with a revelation so easy, especially because I was an unbeliever. And then I ran away from home when I was 18. Then when I was 20, I hit my lowest. My lungs were giving out, and I knew I was dying. And I had lived with a boyfriend during that time, and he looked at me and he started crying because he also knew, like, you're not doing good. And during that moment, I remembered my dad listening to Gloria Copeland in the healing school. So I just grabbed my phone, I put on my headphones, and I searched up on YouTube, Gloria Healing. And when I went to there, it was the first video that was about like 3 hours long, but I was already bedridden, so I was like, I got all the time in the world. And while listening to her, my lungs were feeling better. And then afterwards, she did a prayer. She was like, I'm gonna pray for the healing, but before that, I'm gonna pray the salvation prayer. And if you need healing, you need Jesus. So that's when I gave my life to the Lord, and it was through the BBOVs. When I gave my life to the Lord, it was literally Kenneth Copeland from the moment I woke up to Kenneth Copeland to the moment I went to sleep, Spanish and English. I was listening to every video on YouTube, and my growth went like that. I wanted to get back in school, and the Lord told me, you're not gonna go back right now, and it's not gonna be for what you think. Because I had already my university physics course done. I had Cal 3 done. I thought I was going for math and science. Being here, it was more of that application process, being in person, because when I'm not gonna lie, the first time that I was here during the classes, I was like, Lord, like, I already know this. Like, I already watch and listen to them. So I'm like, I already know these stuff. But when things started happening, that's when I realized that, first of all, it was things that I didn't know that were there started coming up. So it was things that I guess you could say they were little thorns. And I didn't see them being where I was. I had to be here, listening, being surrounded basically by the people that are anointed and have that carrying out to know, like, I'm wrong in this, or like this is happening with me and it shouldn't be. As I've been here, I've seen growth in my, I guess you would want to call it maturity, spiritually, and also in my faith application and applying it not just to one or two areas, but in every single area and balancing it out. If you're feeling that tug, it has to be from the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit leads you to the Word. If you're like, okay, I have to go there now, but I don't have no home, like, what does Psalms 23 say? It says, I would lead you. I will lead you. And not only that, but I would take you in green pastures, meaning he will lead us in rest. So if you just don't worry about it, you say, Lord, you're the one bringing me here. He's gonna put the puzzle pieces together and at the right time.